This is Melissa Brown, your Soul Love Coach. Just want to say hello to all of my emotional detox ladies. You guys, you have done it. You finished the first phase of the emotional detox, 6 weeks. And can I just say, wow, what amazing breakthroughs we had. What a good time we had. I so enjoy working with you ladies. I so enjoy healing work. And every time that I have an opportunity to host a coaching circle, a sacred group of women, I learn so much from all of you. And one of the things that I am definitely seeing as I am kind of rolling out what God has given me in this emotional detox is that this is just the beginning. The first phase of emotional detox, when we do that 6 weeks, it is really just an awakening. It is an awakening of your soul, an awakening of your spirit. It is removing the scales from your eyes, all of your blind spots being exposed, and you are seeing things about yourself that you didn't see before. You are seeing those areas of your life where you still need God to enter in, where you still need just a little bit of a touch so that life can flow differently. And so I have put together what's next, that next phase of the emotional detox. And what God has dropped in my spirit is 90 days. Because 90 days seems to be around the magic number when I work with people one-on-one, that they get all kinds of breakthroughs. And if you all can work with each other for probably about 45 days we've been together and look at what God has done, can you imagine double the time, double and the energy, double the breakthroughs? And so what I am looking to do and offer to those that have actually gone through the 6 weeks is to offer 90 days to wholeness. 90 days for a complete emotional makeover. Because as I just said, this really, what you've gone through has just been an awakening. And what some of you are realizing is that you've been so disconnected from yourself that you need a whole life makeover, that you really need to do that deeper work so that you can remember and reconnect with who you really are, who God called you to be from the very beginning. And so just to give you an idea of what you can expect, I really want to introduce you to my healing model, my framework for working with women. And I'm going to bring it in a group format style, even though there will be ample room for you to meet with me one-on-one, because I know that that's very important to many of you as well. So the healing framework deals with number one, the heart. We have to do our forgiveness work. It is not enough to just know the spaces and places that you have been wounded, but you have to also dig in. You have to also do that hard work of excavating, where you begin to remove and do surgery on those areas of your life where you have been wounded. And all of us saw, as we went through our group time together, those places where your heart was pricked, those places where your heart was triggered with old memories, with old things, residue that you thought maybe you dealt with, or you just decided at the time, you know what, moving on, I really don't have time for this. This is life. But as you have begun to do this detox work, you realize, you know what, I need to go back. I need to go back and I need to relook at this area. I need to forgive those people who wounded me. I need to forgive myself so that I can really let it go. So the healing method, the healing framework that I'm operating in begins with the heart. The next area is your essence. And if you haven't caught on yet, I'm going to be spelling the word heal. We're using that kind of as our acronym. So HEAL. And so H stands for the heart. E stands for your essence. Your essence has to do with who you really are. We already started tapping around identity. And many of us, We have taken on identities based off of your area of wounding. You have taken on an identity where you have believed what other people said about you. You have taken on a false narrative about who you are and what your capabilities are. And instead of living from your divine place, you have been living from your wounded place. And so, but through our time together, what my prayer is that you would go back down to your essence, go down to the core of who you are, who you were called to be in the heavenlies. Remember that conversation, not at the beginning of your bondage, not at the beginning of breakdown, but go back to the heavenly place and look at who was I called to be? Who am I aside from the places that I have been hurt? The next area, HEA, alignments. Y'all heard it a million times. Alignment has to do with how you think and how you live. No, none of this matters. None of the work that we do matters if your mind is not aligned with all of this work, this emotional work that you are doing. And so it is no secret that we got to get our mind right. You got to get your thinking aligned with who God says you are. You got to get your behaviors, the way the way you think about things, the rules that you live by, they gotta be aligned with what your heart is now bringing up. They have to be aligned with your real identity. So alignment is going to be key, which is really the area where we begin to take a look at your mindset. We begin to renew your mindset so that you can fully become who you're meant to be. No more battlegrounds in the mind. Get yourself aligned properly. And then the last area, HEAL, has to do with your life steps. Because without action, faith is dead. So you all know me by now that I am not interested in how much you know. I'm not interested in how well you can quote back to me some of the things that I've been teaching, or even if you did all your homework. What I want to know is, so what you gonna do now, sister? What are you gonna do on Tuesday morning when you met on Monday night? What you gonna do on Tuesday morning when it's time to go to work? What are you gonna do on Friday night when your ex-boyfriend calls? What are you going to do when your husband triggers a memory of the way your father used to be? What are the life steps for you to actually put in motion what you are learning? That takes time. So for some of you that have felt frustrated a little bit, because I know I got all y'all type A people in the group, if you have felt frustrated with where you are and the areas that you still find yourself a little bit moved, when you're like, I know what this is, I should be over this by now. That is the area where you get to have accountability. So in addition to us kind of moving through that framework over the next 90 days, accountability comes when you can get face to face with someone. So I know many of you have been asking for this, that one-on-one time, and in the 6 weeks, we really only had time for one major touch point, just one major session. And so, but in this program, you will have time with me twice a month, every other week. So on 1 week, we will meet as a group. The next week, you will get me privately. There will also be accountability partners. I am going to partner you with another sister. Y'all have already met each other. And even though I got some folks that went through group 1 that weren't a part of group 2, we are all family. We're all in the big Facebook group all together, the Emotional Detox Sisterhood Circle. So I'm not talking about anybody outside of us, but you will be partnered with another sister that you can begin to build an accountability relationship with, and begin to kind of walk this thing out together so that you won't have to feel like, where is Melissa? I need to talk to Melissa. I want you guys to learn how to lean on one another. That's what sisterhood means. And you already know that too many of us, we've been trying to do this walk alone. You've been trying to manage it all on your own, but that's not how you were created. God created you to be in relationship. And so we are going to maximize our relationship because you got some sister friends outside of the emotional detox circle who don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand what you're going through. They can't really give you advice because they haven't done their own work. And so if you are interested in really making progress, like I said, look at how much you've been able to uncover, how many things you've been able to think differently about just in 6 weeks. So imagine if you had three and a half to 4 months to really do your work. Think about where you would be, where you will be this time next year. In addition to the private time, the group time, I know, wait for it. And part of why I was taking my time in rolling this out is because I really wanted to get this part right. We are going on retreat. Yes, yes, yes. I am so excited about going to Cabo San Lucas, which is in Baja, California, actually AKA Mexico. Some of my West Coast folks, y'all may know where that is, but I have been dreaming about Cabo for probably a couple of years. And you all know that the way I choose destinations for my retreat is in a vision. I see the place, and then God begins to orchestrate things. And next thing you know, me and a bunch of women are there. So Cabo is where we will be. And I know that a lot of times, you know, the last few retreats, I have rented like a property, a house or something like that. This particular retreat, I kind of felt like, you know what, I may not be able to do a property because I've probably had about at least 20 people go through our detox. And I can't find a house unless we gonna sleep in king size beds together, which I ain't doing that for y'all. But I couldn't find a house that could accommodate that many people. But I found the right hotel. And so I will have details about all of that. But basically my prayer is, and what I hope is that you will join the next phase, that you will get yourself on board for a complete emotional makeover where you can get your confidence back, you can get your swag back, get your life back, stop giving away your time, your money to people who have become accustomed to walking all over you. Not because they don't love you. Some of them may not have love for you. But basically what I'm saying is I'm talking about you being able to get your whole life back. That's what this next phase of the emotional detox is all about. It is truly a makeover for you emotionally so that you can stop being triggered, so that you can be bold, so that you might really know who you are and what you are called to be doing in this particular season of your life. No more sitting back like you are in the balcony of your life, just kind of watching it go by. It's time for you to finally live life, to do life. And I'm not talking about neglecting your family or forgetting about the people you love, but I'm just talking about making yourself a priority. I'm talking about learning how to pour into you so that you even have something to give. I'm talking about nurturing those parts of you that light you up, that give you joy, so that you even have something to offer, so that you can give the world your best. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself that. You have spent way too many years giving the best parts of you away. And now is the time for you to give some of those precious gifts, to give the best part of you back to you. And then the other part of what I know God is calling for us in this season is just to get ready. Some of us, we've been praying about various things, whether it's the book, whether it's starting a business, whether it's empowering other women, whether it's starting your own family, whatever it is that God has really placed on your heart. I want to remind you that you are the vessel that everything must flow through. And so you must be made whole. Otherwise, you will bleed out on other people. You're going to miss opportunities because you're going to be seeing life through the lens of your wounds instead of as it really is. And or you're going to be in places but still feel like something is missing, although you are already blessed. And so what I know for sure is that the work works when you work it, that change happens when you decide you're worthy of it. And so I want to create the space, I want to create the platform for you to continue doing work on you. I have made the price point in such a way that I think it's easy for you to invest in yourself. It is going to be somewhat of a stretch. Of course, it's not going to be $400 like your 6 weeks of emotional detox was, because this is a larger investment. This is more of your time. You get more of my time. It is also the investment in a retreat. And I know everyone, there may be part of the program that you're like, I really want to do the private and the group work. I want to do more of the emotional work, but I don't know if I want to go on retreat. Even though I'm like, girl, please, who doesn't want to go on retreat? Everybody wants to go on retreat. So there may be some of you that are like, I just want to do the retreat portion. And so I have some price points based off of that. But I believe what I have put together, especially if you say, I want to do it all. I'm ready for a completely new me. And I have been able to put that at just under $3,500, which if you know anything about coaching, if you know anything about the kind of retreats that I put on, that is a wonderful bargain for you, because just private time alone just would be almost $3,000. And so to be able to have the benefit of the group, of the private time, and to go on retreat for $3,500 or a little less, or if you want a private room, there's a little bit more of an increase, but still, you are worth investing in. And so what I will say to you, which is something I had to say to myself when I first kind of hired my own coach, when I started doing some of the things that really has enhanced who I am, I had to decide, you know what? I am worth it. As much as I have poured into other people, as much as I have given away, as much as I have paid for other people, how can I not afford to invest in me? And so you get to decide what the rest of your life is worth to you. You get to decide who you actually want to be in this moment. And you get to decide whether or not you're going to continue to wrestle with the old you, that you're going to get yourself all pumped up and motivated only to go up to the edge and say, never mind. Or you're going to say, you know what, this is truly the year. And this is my time that I'm busting through. And I'm taking care of me. And I'm doing what I got to do. We will start. I am looking at November the 4th, which is a Monday. So our group time, we're going to stay on Monday. And like I said, every other week, you will have private time with me. We won't meet during the week of course, holidays. And so I will give you the full schedule once I hear your yes. What I am asking for you to commit, especially if you want it all, is a $500 deposit to reserve your space in the group, as well as the retreat. If you just want to do the group only, it would be a $250 deposit. And so that's where we are. To be honest with you, I know that I cannot see 20 people privately, one-on-one. And so I do have to limit that portion to probably, let me just say 10. I want to say 12, but my gut says 10. I need to, and so if there are more, because I know we have way more than 10 people in group 1 and group 2 together. But if you are serious, if you are interested, if you are finally ready to, like I said, break through fully, to stop going forward only to go backwards and all this yes and no alignment, full alignment, it's time to heal. So let me know if you are in, send me an email. I will give you the next steps, and I hope that we will all be together celebrating oceanfront on in the beautiful Cabo San Lucas together, February 2020. All right, that is the message. See you soon.